everyone, welcome to Thoughts of Treasures. My name's Connie and this is my craft room. Welcome in. If you guys are new, please be sure to hit that follow or subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I put out. I usually put about 4 out per week and I don't want you to miss any of them, especially if this is something you want to see. With that being said, if you are returning to me, thank you so much for being here. We are going to be working on this fall arch sign, and you do not have to have the interchangeable frame for it. You can just use it like this. However, if you are interested, this is our frame. The pieces just come out like so. There's a little hole, you can push them out, but they just do fall out. You can do it however which way you want, and you can put them in the little easels and you have a nice little change. This is our little Santa sign. Santa, stop, please stop. Santa, please stop here. Sorry. That we did already for Christmas time, so we're ahead of the game. But that is that, and we're going to be working on that and then this one tonight, and I'll show you what it's going to look like once we get it in there. There is also a smaller arch sign. Now I do have some that are similar, not all of them have the same patterns, but this is our little Witch Please for the smaller one, and again it's the same concept. You just insert it. I like to do my my actual arch pieces in a neutral color, that way they're easier to, I don't know, for all the inserts. Excuse me. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how we're going to paint this little guy up. So if you do get a kit from me, you will see that it does come with an inspirational picture. Does not mean that's how you have to paint it. It's just for inspiration. This kit does have placement pieces, score marks. So I'm going to show you that too. But I like to take a piece of painter's tape and just put all of our pieces down that we're going to paint. I'll put this one over here. And then I know these little birds are going to be black, so we can put them there. This little sign is going to be a little sign. What is that? That's a heart. Heart is going to be orange. Our little stem is going to be like a dark brown. And then we got our little pumpkin piece that's going to be orange. And I'm not going to put this on the tape because it's bigger. I usually like to put the smaller pieces on just so, they don't fall off. So we're going to put that over there. Now, with all of my kits, if you guys are not new, as of the present, and this is August of 2025, I do have my 1/4 inch pieces have a masking on them. It is just simply a piece of tape that when the laser goes through, it doesn't singe the wood and really burn it up. So I just take a little weeder. You do have to pull this stuff off. And I'll show you in a second. It'll come right up. You just got to get it through all these little loops and valleys and dips and all the other stuff. Really not hard at all. I just take a little weeder. Just be careful when you're using a little pointing tool like this that you don't, poke the wood, scrape the wood. I'm just trying to get the little edge of the tape up as we go. Definitely don't make a mess of it. And then you can just pull all of this up, and then I'll show you what you're left with and what you have to still do. So that's the big chunk. We're going to throw that in the trash can. Now, let's pull the back off too. You will see sometimes it comes onto the back just because I have to loop it around. So then you're left with this. This is what is scored on. This is for placement purposes only. But you do have to go back in here with this little tool again and pull all of this out, because you're not going to be able to paint it. Well, you can, it'll just come up, or apply the wood glue to it, because it'll just come right up. So we're just going to go back in, kind of like if you were using the Cricut, you have to weed all this stuff. It's the same concept. And then you're left with this beautiful piece of wood with all this little scored marks on it. Now, sometimes you'll find that the scored marks are there for decorative purposes. In that case, you don't want to get the paint in lines, but these are just for, I love when it comes all up at one time. These are for just placement, so you know where to put the items. Sometimes I like that, sometimes I'm not a fan of it, just because if you want to put fall, you know, in a different place rather than where it is, or if you want to put it a little cockeyed or, you know, anything like that, you can't do it because you'll see the score marks, unless you flip it over. You could do that. You could always flip it over and use the back. Alright, so I got all of that up. I'm going to put that in the trash can, and I'm going to simply start how I normally do all of my signs. I'm going to flip this over, and we are going to do the back portion, and I'm going to do it in black. Get my black paint out, and I just simply do the black just for a finished look. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You can do whatever color you want. I just give it a nice coating of black just to keep it pretty and cover everything up. Will you see this when it's in the frame? Absolutely not. I got paint on my thing. Hold on, catastrophe. That's why you don't put the pieces like there. It's okay, we can cover it up, but let's move it to the side. I got a little black on there. So I'll just use a foam brush. We're just going to cover this up. And while I'm doing this, I kind of like to do a little filler talk. So again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Y'all are amazing. If you're watching on one or the other, I am on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all as Thoughts to Treasure. So if you want to catch me over there, please do. I appreciate it. We're slowly growing on all the platforms. Some with a little difference, and some with, you know, the same craft. So, but you can also check out my website. That has all of the cool stuff on it that you can look at. Alright, let's get this corner there. Alright, I'm going to put that to the side real quick to dry while I do these little guys. Now, my little birds are going to be black except for the nose, so I'm going to be careful. I'm going to go in with a paintbrush because this is not going to work as well. So let me get all them. Oh, I almost did that backwards. Take your time. And then we'll put his little eye on and everything after. But I'm going to go in with a tiny little brush around the beak part. So, these frames are just fun because they're interchangeable, and we have lots of different ones for different seasons, holidays, and all that good stuff. So, this back up here, and now I'm done with that too. Get this dry. So if you guys are new to me, I do a lot of wood kits. I do a lot of different crafts. I have just been lately here into doing all the wood kits just because they're fun, they're easy, it's something I can offer to sell, and a lot of people enjoy them. So I have so many to offer, it's like, you know, I don't have time to do them all, so we just constantly keep doing them. I think I could probably do one a day for an entire 3 or 4 years and still not get through everything that I have. Alright, for the front, we are going to be using, and I think I'm going to do this. We're going to use Cashew in Waverly. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've been sitting here contemplating, like I said, I didn't know if I wanted to do this color, or maybe we won't. There we go. Let's shift that. And like I said, these score marks on here are just for placement, and you do not need to worry about getting the paint in them, so I'm just painting right on over it. I am mindful of trying to keep it off of the sides, but I'm not worried about it in the placement of what's on the front. But so yeah, if you do want to check out my website, you're more than welcome to. It's thoughtsofTreasures.com. You can see all of the fun things that I have over there. So if you see the actual picture of the craft, you can then go and watch the video, see if it's something that you like, maybe something you want to purchase. My website is not set up as a purchasing site, whatever I want to call it. It's more set up as a blog, but does not mean that nothing over there is for sale. 99% of it is. So just, if you want to message me, you can contact me through Messenger. If you email me, oh my gosh, please. Take a grain of salt with that one, because I'm not sure if I'll ever see it. I'm horrible with emails. I would rather personally give out my phone number and have people text me rather than email me. And everybody's like, don't give your phone number out. I'm like, I'd rather you have that and bother me that way. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. Emails just, some people love them, some people just don't like them at all. I'm one of those that nope. But if you do contact me through Messenger, I'm 99% of the time awesome at getting you right back. So I'm going to give this another coat. I should have sanded first, but I didn't. Oh well, we'll sand after. So now the good thing about these kits is you can keep them simple. You can, really try to do all kinds of shading with them. You can, there's just so many different levels. And it doesn't matter what level you're at, it always turns out awesome. And I think that's what I've really come to like about doing the wood kits is, a beginner can do this. A more experienced person can do this. An artist can do this. A kid can do this. There's just so many different levels that it's just so simple to put together. And like I said, if you want to do the shading on it, you can do the shading. If you want to put and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I do like to put a little bit of the little cutesy things on it, just to give it a little character. And I'll show you that as we go. I am definitely not an artist or a painter or anything of that sort. I'm just a crafter. But I definitely try out new techniques, as if I see them, why not try them? Things are binging. Why are things binging? I heard that. All right, let's get this dry. Before I do that, I got a little paint on the side. I want to get that off. And again, not that you're not going to see it, but I'm trying to keep things like a little bit pretty. And again, that's just a me thing. If it doesn't bother you, then you can think about it. I think we're going to be done with this one. I am going to give the edges around here a little bit of darkness, a little bit of shading. And I'm going to show you how I do things. Now, just because I do this way does not mean that you have to. But first things first is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little sanding sponge. It's seen better days and it's okay. I am not sanding anything up. If you feel this, you can feel how rough it is. I'm just going to take it and just kind of get some of those wood fibers down from the paint. And that also helps when you're gluing things down. Now, if you want to use it and, you know, rust some of it off, that's fine too. You can do that. But what am I going to do? I am going to use a little bit of antique wax. Let me hold it to you so you can see. Oh, let me shake it up so I get some in the lid. Why is everything binging? Bing, bing, bing. All day long, nobody calls me until I'm doing things. So, I'm just going to use my little foam brush, and we're just going to go around the edges, kind of like so. So what I'm going to do is you're going to see me dip, 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 and I'm going to just take a lot of it off, because you can always go back in with more, and I'm just going to, see, I feel like that didn't took too much off. And if you want to go in further, I always like to go, look, it's always better to do a little, and then if you want to do more, you can do more. You can always see how it looks and how it turns out. And you can do this with any color you want. It doesn't have to be antique wax. If you want to do it with like burnt umber or a different brown color, I'm just using the antique wax because it's something I had handy. Not that I don't have other paints handy, but it just happened to be here. And I'm just going to go around all of this. Now, there's my one coat around. If you guys can see, I'm just going to go around it a little bit more. Put a little bit more over here. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of wiping down. And this is where the creativity can come in. Like I said, you don't have to do this, and it's still going to look beautiful if you don't. This might get a little bit darker. And just keep playing with it until you get it to what you want. Everybody has a difference, and some people don't even like to do this. A lot of people like that little rusticy kind of look. Some people like plain Jane, as I like to call it. That's what I used to be the biggest thing. I wouldn't Mod Podge for the reason of the wrinkles, and now it's like, oh, embrace those wrinkles. The older you get, you gotta embrace the wrinkles. Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop there. This is where we're at, so you can just see it around. I don't want it to be too, I don't want to go overboard with it, so I think I'm gonna stop there. Close that up so I don't drop it. And we're gonna set this to the side, because now we have lots of other pieces to paint. Now, for my little pumpkin, why not use pumpkin? We're going to use Waverly Pumpkin. I do like this color a lot. Is it Apple Barrel? I have another pumpkin over here. This is Pumpkin Orange. This just, to me, is like very, very bright. This is more of a harvesty orange color, and I like that better. It just has a more fall-y feel to it, I guess you could say. So I'm just going to, and I'm not worried so much about getting it to the edge here because the crows are going to cover that part up. I just want to make sure I get everything else done with it. And I'm not worried about covering that heart up because we have a heart that's going to go on top of that. Now, let's get this piece real quick too. Oh, the tape is taking things. And while I have this, I'm going to do this before I dry. And sometimes it all depends. It all depends on the wood. Some woods are a lot better than others, but you're going to get this kind of, and I'm going to show you how we're going to fix it. See how it's like a little rough? Because sometimes with the paint, depending on what paint you're using, you can get that wood to really not like that paint. Oh, I should have left the thing there because I did kind of want to do the same thing. Well, that's okay. We'll get out of the brush. All right, I'm going to give this both a dry. And we're going to get our sanding block again. Sand is pretty good. I don't like the way that wood is coming up. I'm going to do the same thing over here because I'm going to give it another coat of paint. Alright. Nice little orange going on. That's okay. Alright, we're going to do the same thing again. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Where'd that come from? So when you sand it, then you can have your nicer, flatter, like just keep those sand blocks next to you. And this also helps when you're gluing things together. Just the smoother it is, the easier it's going to adhere and want to stay adhered. If you got a lot of bumps and bumps, I don't know another word, bumps and bumps. You just end up with kind of, you know, either things sticking up high or not wanting to adhere on that end. So I always say just give it a nice little sanding. You don't have to go rough on it. It's not like, you know, you need to power sander out. Don't be a tin. Oh, I just painted his thing. Saying we gotta fix that. We gotta fix that. That should be good with that. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, let's fix our little our little crow. I just painted his little, let me dry him first. I gotta put orange all over him. It's supposed to be an orange crow, not a black crow. It's okay. We have plenty more brushes. And very easy to fix. So if you're not as dainty with your stuff as me, maybe put just whatever colors you want or spread them out more. I should, but you know, I'm trying to keep things within a frame so you guys can see it. Just make it easier, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. I'm trying to think what green I want to use. I think I'm going to use moss. Let's see if I can find it. Or fern. Let's use fern. I'm going to use fern. because I'm going to make it a little bit lighter, highlight it a little bit maybe. I want to use let's go ahead and use some celery with that. I think that's going to look good. She cutting a room down there? My dog is laying down here. She's got no room. She's got like a trash can over here and the thing over here, and she's like stuck right there. It's okay. But I am going to remove these little guys for right now, just so I don't paint them again. And I'm going to be working with these two. So I'm going to go ahead. See, my fern's getting a little darkened, but that's okay. We're just going to use it anyway. Let me go ahead and water it down some. My fern is like very clumpy. I love Waverly, but I'm telling you, I just don't like how it gets so old so quick. It's the one thing I don't like. And I know you can water it down, and I did, and I do. I'm going to try this. But I'm going to give them a second coat. And after I give them a second coat, I'm going to add some of this celery on top. So let me get that ready. It's just fun. Crafting is supposed to be fun. Make it fun. Don't mess over something. Don't do that. I've learned. Oh my gosh, I forgot to eat my Wheaties today. Thing has been my little friend for years. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the plate. I don't need much. Everything's making a mess. That's another fun part of crafting. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the plate. That was a little bit more than this, but that's okay. And that's what I got. I'm going to water this down a little bit. So this time around, because I know I wanted to put 2 coats on it. This time around, I'm going to paint these, but I'm not going to dry them immediately. Because I'm going to go in another sponge. We're going to do like the bottom portion of this one, because this is going to be going at the bottom. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this, very little, kind of go off, and we're going to kind of blend it. Go back in with some of this. We're just going to kind of blend it. And if you feel it's getting too light, that's fine. We can just go in with a little bit more. Not that much more, it just clumped on me. A little bit of, just keep blending it until you feel like you have the color that you want. All the fun about, see, so I just have it just enough, and it looks like it's blended in. I'll show you up close. I like that. It's perfect of what I want. So we're going to do the same thing with the other one. Let me move my board. Take my green, and we're just going to paint this. Again, this is something you do not have to do if you don't feel comfortable. These kits are not intended or, you know, to make you do this, but it's just something fun. And I like to show you little techniques that I know how to do. All right, so this one's going to go this way because we're going to do the top and the bottom. Did I mess it up? No. Stop. Look, I'm confusing. So that goes this way, that goes this way. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. Alright, so we're going to go here. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of our... And we're just going to dab. Get this all kind of you know, these are leaves. They're not, there's nothing, you know, there's not a right or a wrong to this, except for I did get too much, which I didn't want to do. I got paint in between the leaves. That I didn't want to do. Here, let me turn this way. I want to get this down here. I mean, there is no right or wrong to a leaf. So you can just have fun. Just blend it in. Just keep dabbing. I always find dabbing is a nice way to blend. Don't try smothering it. It's just like that. Just something just different, just gives it a little bit of something. And again, if you don't feel comfortable doing something like that, don't. If you don't like it, it's fine. Not everybody likes everything. But I'm going to dry them because I'm happy with them. Now, I'm going to get some, and I really like this red, let's see. It's called Flamenco Red, possibly, I don't know. Could be, I don't know. Let's just call it that. Now, we're going to put it over here. I'm running out of plates. This red is it's just a deeper red, darker red. I really like it. So I am going to just do my fall letters in this color. And I'm just putting a little bit on because I don't want to get a whole lot on the sides. You can always go back in with a second coat. You can use a smaller brush. Whatever you feel comfortable, you can dab it with a little makeup sponge. But if this is something you want to see more of, or you're interested in this kit, you can definitely message me, or you can join my live sales. I do them every other Sunday, unless for September I will be I'll be going away, so the schedule is not every other week. But I do have a schedule on my website that shows everything, and also on my Facebook page. I will be updating it. Right now it is up until September, so at the end of this month I will probably do September, October, November, and we'll see how the holidays fall in there. If I want to do a little shading on that or not, I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. Not everything needs to be shaded. But I did do the heart the same color. For my stem, I'm going to use my favorite brown, well, second favorite brown. We're going to use some burnt umber. Now for this one, I really need another plate. I have nowhere to put any of these colors. Let me throw this in the trash can. Watch your face. Alright. For this one, I am going to, however, use my little, oh, I shouldn't touch that. Pull this off. Let's move this down. Because I want to be able to still see these little score marks. So I'm just going to use my little dabber. Less is more. Remember that. You can always go back. I didn't do too good of a job there, but that's okay. Good. Works good for me. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to do some of this. I usually, do I want to, or do I want to do some? Yeah, let's just use the burnt umber. I'm going to go around the pumpkin edge with my, like I did with the sign. We're just going to put a little bit on our brush, and we're just going to go around. I don't want too much. I just want to highlight it a little bit. Kind of give it a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing to this now around these little parts of the bird, the crow. I'm not going to worry too much about. Let me go back and I'm going to do a little bit more messier. And see, you can change your mind. I didn't think I wanted to do a little bit too, but I think I do. Okay, and the last thing we have to do before we put it together is do the little bird's beaks. So I'm just going to use, not that one, and these are in my Amazon store if you're interested. These are amazing pins. These are the fine tip. They have bold and they are the round, and they have this. I'm just going to do their little beaks. In the yellow. Their coat. Love these pens. These are amazing. I use them all the time. I have 2 sets over here. Love them. They come in the pastels and the bold. Check them out. They are a little pricey, but worth every penny. All right, so got that. All right, let's dry this. Make sure everything's dry. You can put it together. Then I can show you what it's going to look like in the frame. And then you have a nice little fall sign for your home. Alright, I'm going to get some wood glue. Now, I do have this one, and again, I'm telling you, this is the wood glue from the Dollar Tree. Love this stuff. You do have to cut the top like most bottles. And I've really tried hard not to do the big old globular hole, but I screwed up again, so now we have a full bottle that we have to work with. It's fine, everything's fine, but I am going to put my little birds on first. We'll put his eyes on after I get everything on here. So I put a little bit on my table, and that's fine. I have a silicone mat down. It is also in my storefront on Amazon. This is amazing. It's a nice, big, huge one. So, you know, just wipe up your mess. I've had this one for years. Get everything on there nice and flush. So I really do enjoy doing these kits just because, like I said, they're for every level. You don't have to And whatever you have, whatever you order that's it. Besides the paint, and we all have, paint. I don't know, maybe we all don't have, but I know I have a severe paint problem. Oh, look at that color. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, we need that. And then some of them sit here unopened. Guilty. But, I think we all can, just have the paint in our house, and then you just paint it up, and it's fun. Now, I enjoy painting. I think it's very relaxing. I absolutely love putting this stuff together. And I think that's why I've gravitated to doing a lot of the wood kits here lately. You don't have to go hunt around in 15 Dollar Trees to find what you want, which are not Dollar Trees anymore. I didn't say that out loud. Just getting lined up. I just like to make sure it's all nice and light. That's so cute. And we're going to put a little white on him too, because I think they're just a little too dark. Oh. And I don't use a lot of wood glue. The only time I ever use a lot is when I'm doing like a frame or something, because I want to make sure every section is down. When I'm doing little pieces like this, it's not really necessary. I don't ever use the hot glue for this, because when you use hot glue, well, I won't say I never do, because I have done in the past. Whenever you use the hot glue, you tend to get clumpy. So you want to be mindful of that. Don't do that. You want it to be nice and flush. If you don't want to use the wood glue, you can use that Titebond stuff. You could use, there's lots of other glues out there you can use. I just like this because it gives you a little bit of time to maneuver around. Once it's squished down, it's not falling off. Just don't use a ton of it, it won't fall off. Alright, let's start putting this onto over yonder. Over yonder. Now these score marks are here, so we definitely want to get them in the score marks, because you're going to be able to see them. So, step one. Just want to make sure all the score marks are covered up. That's one reason why I say I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the score marks, but they are nice because it tells you exactly where the pieces go. So yes, I like them. No, I don't like them. You can't change anything around, but it's okay. All right, then we're going to use this piece is going to go up yonder. And again, you don't have to put glue on every single piece. Oh, I put a lot too much out there now. I'll just kind of put a little bit on here, a little bit on there. And then again, we're going to look for the score marks. Hold it. Oh, I didn't even get that on there at all, the score marks. What was that? That's why I hold it up. Sometimes you can't see it. Now, don't be really, really upset if you get all this glue here. That was not a good brush to use. I want something a little bit harder. But I'm going to try to get some of it off. It will dry clear. It's not a problem. Don't use your good brushes. Just like that. Cool, cool, cool. So we're getting there. Now we're going to put the bottom one on. It's going to go in the opposite direction. And again, do a little bit here, a little bit, 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 a little bit. See, so I'm not covering it in glue, just enough glue to kind of give something the beginning to the end. And I have never, ever, ever had a problem with any of this falling apart. I've had things break because I've dropped them, but that's not the glue's fault. Alright, so it's looking pretty, loving it. Alright, let's get our forward on. And we do the same thing. And I'm just using these little eye makeup shadow brushes. Again, the same thing, put a little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. Make sure I'm all on the score mark. I'm loving it. It's so pretty. Let's get our little heart on here. You really don't need much at all for the heart. Now I am going to go in and give it a little bit of that in there so we don't ruin that. I'm done with the glue. I'm going to get this glue up off the table. And then we'll go in and do a little bit of, I don't know, somethings. We're going to get a little bit of white. Don't need much. I'm going to get my little detailing brush out. And we're going to put some little fun to get a little bit of something. This way. Make sure I don't stick my finger in anything. Again, this step is completely optional. It just kind of gives it a little bit of, I don't know, brightness to it. Alright, let me put that down a second. Oh, shoot. Phew. I'm going to go in with my little, love this thing for making dots. If you guys have never made, just dip, dot, dip, dot. So, if you dip once, you can go straight down, you can make 3 dots, and it's going to make it smaller, small, like big, small, smaller. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3. Do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's perfect the way it works. 1, 2, 3. And you can just see how it just gives it a little bit of character, a little bit of something, something. And it's really, you don't have to do too much. I'm going to go in, let me wipe this off. I am going to go in with his eyeball, but I want to paint, I want to do a little, just a little something, something. Just to give him a subtle, and if you feel more comfortable doing this with paint marker, you can do that too. I don't know if I care for this pen too much. Thing too much. Let's try this little guy and see if we can. I'm gonna do a little bit of. Just try whichever works best for you. I'm just going to put a little bit on his. Just to give it a little bit of, see what I'm doing? And you might have to find the right paintbrush that works best for what you want to do. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's working, but ooh, I could have done a little bit something different. You know, I like how that worked better. Maybe I'll put a little bit more paint on there. That's okay, it works. Again, it doesn't have to be all the same. See, now I like the second one better. And that's fine. It doesn't look horrible. I'm loving it. I like it. I like it. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to give him an eyeball. So this has a bigger side, darker side, and a lighter side. Bigger side and a lighter side. Bigger side and a smaller side. I'm going to use the little side, and I'm just going to give these guys a tiny little eyeball. And I don't know, there is a little mark there, but I don't see it. So I'm just going to not stick my finger in anything. Loved it. I absolutely like how that comes out. See, I amazed myself, and first time I've done it, and I absolutely love the way it came out. So now let me tell you, this little brush right here, I don't ever wash it. I know, gosh, I'm probably going to get hate mail. That's okay. This little brush, I like it to be hard. I like it to be stiff because I want it to be when I do my detailing. So I just wipe it off a little bit and put it up there. It's fine. It's okay. I only use it for that. Right, let me get this dry real quick. Make sure my little dots are all dry. I was very happy how it turned out. It really is pretty. Then, let me get my frame. And again, like I said, these are interchangeable. They pop right on out. It does have a little hole here you can push, but... And then, OMG, love it. Now, we did antique wax this frame, so I absolutely love, love, love how that came out. It's just so pretty. Love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I can't wait for you to hear what you guys have to say. I always love to hear what you guys have to say. Even if it's negative, that's fine. I'm happy with that. If it's your opinion, you think it's ugly, you think that's fine. You tell me. Tell me what you think. Oh, you did ugly on that. That's fine. Hey, I'm okay with criticism. So anyway, this is what I got for you tonight. If you guys are interested in this kit, either the frame or just the insert, just comment fall pumpkin and I can get that information to you. So you guys all remember that thoughts become things and things become treasures. And I will see you in the next video.